All right, so recently I came across an old Bible that I got when I was a little kid, but it was like a student, high school, college student Bible. But I was 9 years old when I got this, so I started reading it, kind of thumbed through the pages, and one of the things that I found was all of these markings, typically in like hot pink, of underlined passages or notes that I would write from sermons that I would hear as a high school student or a college student, because I carried this for, I think, probably until I was in college. I had this Bible. And one of the things that got me thinking about was the fact that God has always been a part of my life. And yet, when I look back at my life, I can remember really difficult seasons, really hard moments where I don't think I really felt the presence of God, or I don't think I really felt close to God, but I had all of these underlined passages of scripture that say otherwise, that indicate this. He's always been in pursuit of us, and he's always been in pursuit of me. And yet there's a difference in reading all of the things on these pages and all of the underlined passages that for the first couple decades of my life I was reading about, and then becoming an adult and actually experiencing them in new ways. And it got me thinking, I can read and underline passages in the Bible about, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted, but there's something different that happens when your heart breaks and you engage with the Lord and with the presence of God in a new way. So there's such a vast difference between what I read as a little girl and what I've now experienced as an adult in my relationship with the Lord. And then I start thinking about, as a little kid, was I even aware of what I was going through or what God was doing when I would underline these passages about being brokenhearted or being desperate? Was I even really aware of what those words and what those things meant the way that I am now? Because when we experience difficult things, then we have the opportunity to experience God in a new way. And I started thinking about how much we disregard his presence in our life in a day-to-day moment. And can you imagine having gone through everything that Jesus went through on earth, everything that he suffered, everything that he dealt with in his crucifixion, all of that pain, everything that he took on, so that we could be in relationship with God, only to have us go through the hardest and the darkest parts of our lives and not even acknowledge his presence, that he's been there this whole time, that he's there in the midst of difficulty, he's there in the midst of pain. What must that feel like? I think probably worse than the pain that we feel when we're rejected or something hurts us. I think worse than that is the pain of being unseen. And oftentimes that's what we inflict upon Jesus, the pain of being unseen. I wonder what that feels like to him when we go through difficult situations or we go through our life and we forget to acknowledge the fact that he's there, that we have the chance to read about him, but then we have the privilege and the pleasure to experience him in new ways, even in our darkest moments.